agricultural sector due to limited processing and preservation capacity. This results in high food prices and food importation, with its attendant effects on the nation's foreign reserves. To enable Nigerians optimize the benefits from the country's vast agricultural products such as cassava, oil palm, rice, tomatoes, and others, the Bank of Industry has launched a 5 billion naira cottage agro-processing fund, the CAP Fund. Customers can access the fund to establish plans to process our various agro-produce into food products or intermediate raw materials for industries at a single-digit interest rate of 9% per annum. For more information on the CAP Fund, please visit www.boinigeria.com/capfund. Bank of Industry, developing Nigeria's agro-processing industry through the CAP Fund.
Digoluba is the managing director of Group Enterprises Nigeria Limited, located at the Niger Bridge Industrial Layout in Onitsha. His family formerly worked as distributors for a British-owned foam company who were into importation of foam in the 1960s. In the late 1970s, the family saw the need to start manufacturing foam, capitalizing on population increase and a stable economy in the nation.
While I came out of school, I joined the family business, and since then I've happened to be working with my family in terms of administration and distribution of the product. The business was more like being monopolized by 2 or 3 companies for years in Nigeria. The pioneer foam company in Nigeria happens to be British Vita, before it was now Indigenous by Vita Nigeria Limited. Then, whereas other foam companies like Mocha Foam, Sarah, and the rest of them now came up. But we virtually went into production of foam in the 80s. That was 1980 precisely.
Group Enterprises Nigeria Limited is the manufacturer of polyfoam products, which includes beds, orthopedic mattresses, among others. However, after about 6 years in business, the company could not withstand the pressure of an alien economy and other prevailing market forces as it crumbled under pressure.
Business in Nigeria was really bad between the 80s and 90s. So a lot of business went down. Middle 80s, late 90s, the exchange rate was high. The cost of importation, cost of running business was quite high, which made a lot of business people not to be able to cope up with the challenges of the days. So they had to shut down the business. Because virtually all we use in foam manufacturing is virtually imported, from the methylene chloride to the polyurethane, polio, TDI, and other catalysts that are involved in production of foam, polyurethane foam. They are all imported. So based on the exchange rate going up and the cost of importing the product, it was much more difficult for us to cope with the business.
In 1994, stakeholders at the company decided to resuscitate the business as they sought funds from investors. The Bank of Industry, known at the time as the Nigerian Development Bank, NIDB, was their safe haven. Now, with over 150 regular staff and depots spread across the east and north, Group Enterprises Nigeria Limited has more to show for the support it received from the Bank of Industry.
Since we reopened, from the assistance we got from Bank of Industry, which was then Nigerian Industrial Development Bank, at least it helped us a long way, being that the cost of fund and bank charges were much cheaper than what you get from commercial banks, coupled with the fact that the Nigerian market, in terms of usage of mattresses, kept on expanding too. So we were able to get our own share of the market by trying to concentrate more in the southeast, south, middle belt area.
Staying relevant and affordable in the market is one of the challenges of the foam industry. However, Uba believes creativity and attention to details will set his business apart.
We've been trying to make sure we get our own share of the market, being that we have a mission. We came in and we want to make a change and an impact in the market which we are covering. We try to, make people understand that in foam business there is new innovations which can still come from this part of the country. It's not precisely only from the western side, because most times people don't really feel that the product that comes from the eastern side are as good as what you get from the western side of the country. True. So we have to try to put the innovation and follow up with day-to-day improvement in the production of polyurethane foam to make sure it meets the challenges and choice of our customers.
Polyurethane, otherwise known as foam, is made from a reaction of two primary ingredients, isocyanate and polyol. The two are mixed together with water and a few additives. The reaction immediately begins to take place where two bubbles are formed, and the mixture expands as it rises to form a foam.
You can see this is where we stock our raw materials. The two major chemicals we use, which is polio and TDI. This is our chemical tank room. One is for polio, the second tank is for TDI, while the third tank is for methylene chloride. Then the other catalysts, we have the tank outside right beside the plant. While the production process is taking place, chemical comes through the pipes to the mixer head and it runs down through this hose to the trough. You can see the pipings. This one is for the polio, this one is for the TDI, this one is for the color, this one is for the water. They all comes down here. Then the mixer head, this is the mixer head. There is a shaft in the machine that blends all the chemicals and it flows through the hose to the trough. This is what we call trough. So that when it gets to the trough, it comes out in uniform and flows down on the paper. While the process is going on, that's where the foaming takes place. When it gets to the extreme of the tunnel, there's a blood cut-off machine that is there, which we use to cut it into sizes. From the sizes of the blocks we want, we have one for 54 sizes, we have blocks for 88 sizes, we have blocks for 72 sizes, depending on the demand of the customers. While you cut off the blocks on the sizes, then we take it to the curing room for the cooling of the foam to take place within 24 hours. You can see behind me, there is a tunnel, which is where the foam comes out. It comes out in a stretch form, in a solid form. Then there's a blade extremely right hand beside me. The blade is where we cut the blocks into sizes. This open space is our curing room. This is where we stack our foams after production for heat extraction to take place. After converting the chemical into solid form and it forms into foam blocks like this, you have to allow it to cure for at least 24 hours for the heating process to take place, to heating extraction to take place. It's after then that we can now take it to the conversion room for us to slit it into mattress sizes for beddings. But while the foam still comes out, we need to give it at least 16 to 24 hours for curing process to take place. That's the essence of this open hall we have here. This is our rebonded section. Actually, most of the scrap we got from the foam blocks, after converting the blocks into sheeting, we take it to this rebonded section where we crush it into smaller sizes, like in form of pillow crumbs. Then we take it to the silo. From the silo, it gets to the mixing site. Then we mix it with the chemical and discharge it on the box behind me, depending on the sizes. We have boxes for 72 blocks. We have boxes for 54. We have for 88, 84 blocks, depending on the size of block the customers want.
Next is the slitting room, where the foams are cut into desired shapes and sizes.
This section is the conversion section. After curing must have taken place, then you move in the foam blocks here. We have about 4 machines here. This is the slitting machine, the vertical slitting machine that cuts down the block to sizes you want, if it's for cushion or for sheeting. Whereas the one right here behind me is the horizontal slitting machine that can take up to 5 to 6 blocks at a time. You use it to slit the foam blocks into mattress sizes whether it's for 4 feet 6 or for 6 by 6 mattresses or for 7 by 6 mattresses. That's the essence of the machine. As it moves around, it takes around the blocks to the slitting section where the blade is. When it gets to the slitting section, you now program the machine to the sizes of foam blocks you want to cut. The slitting machine have now cut the foam blocks into different sizes. After cutting off the top skin, which we use for the rebonded, then it has cut the first size to 8 inches, then the rest 6 inches for mattresses. This is where we call the quilting section, where we quilt the textile material we use for our high-end products. The process is, you can see what's going on behind me. The sheeting goes in with the textile material, the damask textile material, which is being quilted to give it that fantastic design on it. These are our tapage machines. We have about 7 out here. The tapage machine is used to tape the mattresses. Okay, we use it in taping the covers, the textile covers on the mattresses to give it a beautiful shape.
And after taping comes the final stage before it is being sent to the market.
This section is the packaging section. After sewing the mattresses right inside, we then bring it here to guillotine it and cover it with the waterproof cover and seal it up for final supply to the customers.
It's been 20 years since the company reopened in 1994. The firm's support of the Bank of Industry has been instrumental to this feat. Group Enterprises Nigeria Limited is now looking to upgrade how business is done in the film industry.